Hello, guys. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. Welcome to Panama Mule Live with Janera. Bienvenidos a Panama Mule en vivo con Janera. No sé dónde estén, pero puede ser en la mañana, puede ser en el mediodía, no sé. Por aquí vamos a tener una conversación muy importante porque en realidad hay que hablar sobre la humanidad, ¿verdad? ¿Qué es lo que va a pasar? ¿Qué podemos hacer para prevenir ciertas cosas? He tratado de buscar tantos títulos, pero bueno, encontré una. And so I am going to talk about humanity. There's so much to talk about humanity that I didn't even know what title to choose, but it's just the basic conversation that we need to have. There's a lot happening around the world today that we need to open the platform, open conversation, and hear what you have to say, hear your suggestions, hear your opinions. I have a guest, of course. I will not say that yet until that time is closer. Tengo un invitado, pero no le voy a decir quién es. Es una persona que va a compartir esta plataforma conmigo. Pero hoy es el 12 de noviembre, domingo 12 de noviembre del 2023. Ya se acerca el fin del año. Ya vamos para otro año, 2024. Today is November 12th, 2023. We're approaching the end of the year, and we head into 2024. Hopefully, we find some kind of solutions to the things that are happening around the world. Grab you a cup of coffee, tea, whatever you're drinking, and join the conversation. Agarran su taza de té, café, jugo, lo que estén tomando, y únanse a esta conversación de hoy. Buenos días o buenas tardes. Hey guys, we're back. We're back. How was your week? Guess what? We celebrated Veterans Day yesterday. Yes, we celebrated Veterans Day yesterday. El Día de los Veteranos lo celebramos ayer. Hay en lugares como Washington, D.C. que lo están celebrando hoy. El primer desfile en Washington, D.C. Washington, D.C. is also celebrating for the first time. That's what I heard. In a community that they will be doing a parade today. I am still waiting to verify that. So yeah, there's a lot to talk about. Definitely. But first, before we get into talking about the topic of today, we're gonna say what's going on. What's the weather in your area? Chat. What's the weather here in Panama? It's 81 degrees. It's gonna go up, of course. It's raining at the moment. Drizzling. Light rain, not too heavy. Precipitation 80%, humidity 84%, winds 1 mile per hour, depending on where you are in Panama. 81 grados es el clima de hoy. Chaten donde estén para saber el clima, ¿verdad? 81 grados Fahrenheit aquí en Panamá, precipitaciones 80%, humedad 84%, vientos 1 milla por hora. 1 milla por hora. Eso depende de donde están en el mundo. Cuéntame, chat, let me know what's going on in your area. Any announcements to be made? A lot of things are going on here in Panama, of course. There were a lot of, 3 deaths that I know of as a consequence of blocking the roads. We're still experiencing that. There's still more that people are not satisfied with. By all means, if you're not satisfied with something, protesting is a way of showing that you are not agreeing with what's happening. I try not to make this platform politics, but sometimes politics is anything about government, but sometimes we have to speak what's going on. We have to talk about what's going on. And so I said, you know what? I'm not going to get into depth about what's actually taking place here in Panama and around the world, as you know. Russia with Ukraine, and then Israel with Palestinian. It's so much going on. And then we got the disasters, um, you know, climate change to the extreme. Some people don't believe in it. Well, you believe what you want to believe, but you believe what you see. Okay, let's be real. We believe what we see, and so there's a lot going on. Now, um, what about? Let's dive into the conversation of today, which is very interesting. Very interesting. So I have a guest, but before I bring on the guest, I'm just going to do an intro with a video so you guys could get the gist of what we're going to talk about. Tengo una persona que va a compartir esta plataforma conmigo y vamos a hablar acerca del tema de hoy, que es la humanidad. ¿Podemos salvar a la humanidad? No sabemos. Vamos a ver. Vamos a ver qué se nos ocurre en las ideas que tenemos, las preparaciones, los planes que tenemos para salvar la humanidad. So we're going to talk about that after the video. Hello, hello, hey! Welcome to Panama Mule Live with Janetta. How are you?
Pretty good. How you doing?
Oh, awesome. I'm so happy. This is my cousin, Ambrosio Daniel. And I asked him this morning to join me on this wonderful conversation because we need to talk about, I mean, we sit and watch the TV all the time and we talk about, we talk with other people, but it's good to have it on this platform.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's a lot of threats that we are being faced with humanity. Could you share with me, first of all, introduce yourself and you can say whatever you want to say, promote your brand. I don't know, whatever you want to promote. Just tell me a little bit about yourself. So the people that are watching now and will be watching later on Facebook and on live, what we want to share here on this platform. Welcome.
Yeah, appreciate you having me on. Like you said, we are cousins, family.
Yes.
I was born in Richmond, Virginia, about 2 hours away from the nation's capital. Both my parents are Panamanian, born and raised from Panama. My dad moved to Panama, I think, and I don't remember the date, but he went to Texas, so he served as a in the Army, so he's a veteran as well. My mom moved a year after. So I have 2 siblings, Lakeisha and Lamar, Daniel. I got married in 2014. I'm sorry, 2013. I always get these dates mixed up. So
Yes.
yeah. So, but I have 3 kids. I'm currently a contractor with the government.
Good.
Systems analysis work.
Good.
In my free time, I play basketball. I do word search puzzles, and I am an avid. I would like to call person of who likes history. So if there's a certain topic that's current in the news, I'm all over it. So I try to keep up with current events the best I can.
People.
But then I actually try to tie it back to history, to where we are now. So
Yeah.
um, I'm happy
Yeah.
to be a part of the conversation. I think you said you
Yeah.
titled it humanity. So
Yeah. Yeah. Because I mean, your father, and one thing I want to point out that you said in your introduction was your dad, my uncle, a veteran. So we
mhm.
salute all
Yeah,
veterans, which were celebrated yesterday, and I think today as well. Some areas are still celebrating the whole weekend, I guess.
yeah,
Veterans Day. And also, you're a dad, so you have some valid concerns about the future. You do. And
right.
what perfect person to talk about it? Someone who has a generation after him that will be in the midst of all this confusion, and you
Mhm.
don't want to see that. Tell us one of the things that you're worried about, because I know, first of all, let me list some of the things that are concerning, some of the threats to humanity, which is the natural pandemic, the climate extreme change, the war, the super volcanic eruptions. These are only a few things, right? Aside
Mhm.
from the war. I mean, it seems like more and more people are adding on to this, I guess, World War III, and they're not telling us,
Mhm.
right? So explain to me a little bit about your worries about the future.
Yeah. So with the subject called humanity, I think people, well, the word human is in humanity, right? So it's supposed to be a collective of love, collective of people doing good, right? Right now, what we're seeing in the world, in my opinion, is governments who are about governments and self-preservation, and it's not about the people. If you look at any region in the world right now, a lot of the people are rebelling against their government. I mean, before we had this this war in Israel and Gaza,
Right,
Israelis were actually protesting against the government.
right.
So you know, I don't want to get too deep into the sides of who's right, who's wrong, but the thing is, you got two governments who people, the majority of the people aren't for, right? So you got one
Right.
side, the majority of the people aren't for. The majority of the people
I agree.
are children, basically. They're
Right,
under 18. They're kids, right? So they didn't vote for this government. Then you got
right.
the other side who's been in power for a while, who's is not suppressing their people, but but their people don't don't really agree with the current government, and so now the world doesn't agree with that. Both governments. I mean, people aren't
Right,
respecting the UN right now. They don't care what the UN says, and which is supposed to be, as a
the
collateral
world.
of,
Right.
of, of world nations, and about peace and how, and respecting
Yes.
international law. So that's
Law.
not happening. Um, you got wars in the Congo right now. People are taking out resources.
Very true.
Here in my home country, they're taking out the resources just to build iPhones. You got war or potential war in Taiwan based on semiconductors for
Right.
missiles, for missiles, for cell phones. So it's wars based on resources. It's wars based on land occupation. Um,
Yeah.
and it's been a long history of war. In my opinion, the only true president we had in America was JFK, who tried to bring some type of peace. You know,
Yeah.
um, he has his faults as well, but I mean, as any
Right.
system that you have,
Right.
you're going to have that, because here in America, you got a checks and balances system where you got your president, you got your Congress, you got your
Right.
Supreme Court. So each of these people is supposed to balance out each other, and you see how these powers go against different things, but you could even trickle it down to in the local levels in America. I mean, for the
Mhm.
last 5 years, schools have been stripping away libraries, and people don't really talk about that a lot. Before you got
Right.
these governors in Florida talking about banning books. They were stripping away libraries before. You know what I'm saying? Because now we
Right.
got to an age where people think they can go on Wikipedia and get information, where
Right.
we really need to get back to being avid readers and having more critical thinking.
Right.
So tying it all the way back, because I went globally, then I try to come down locally. As a dad, you look at local, you look at what you can do in your sphere, and your
Yeah.
influence in your house. So making sure that they read, they know the difference of who they are, where they come from.
Very important. Yes.
Very important. People try to put a lot on skin color, which
Right.
is understandable, and because in certain places there as you get higher up in life, you will see racial tension because people start naturally flocking to their own group.
Mhm.
But we have to keep in mind that we all are human. There is human aspect to all of us. I like to say that we are all not equal, but we should
Yes.
all be treated equally. Um,
Exactly. I
so
totally agree.
yeah. So just trying to keep that sense of uh feeling and knowledge going with my kids, and even the sphere of kids that's around them, letting them know about love and respect.
Right.
um Even teach the because I have kids now who are in the second grade, so they're learning about bodies, relationships, and that's
Right.
between a man and a woman, and
Right.
a woman and a woman, or a man and a man, because now that they're in classrooms where someone might say something, so it's teaching them. Different people have different lifestyles, but
Yeah.
you go and try not to let them focus on that, because for me that's premature. It's more focus on friendships and loving your family and respect, because
Exactly.
other things I try not to harp on because I feel like it's just too early.
Yeah.
um
Yes.
but other things as we talk locally and about being uh in the sphere of humanity. I mean, it's just keeping a neighborhood sense that you know what this country, America, because I know you're in Panama, what America was founded on isn't always what America is, right? So America was trying to be founded on equality, freedom of religion, freedom of this, freedom of that. But
Right.
we've
Right.
seen in the past where that has when I say past, I'm talking about within the year, 2 years,
Right. Right.
where that if you protest, you're shunned. If you protest, if you speak out against humanity, you're fired. Is
Yeah. And
tying
it's
it.
peaceful protesting. It's all
Mhm.
peaceful. We're
It's
not even
peaceful.
talking about any
Hmm.
other protest, just peaceful protest,
Peaceful
sort of
protest.
like taking the knee and all that stuff. You're being banned, you're being kicked off the team. I mean, it's really not fair because I mean, you have a right to feel the way you're feeling because
Mhm.
you're hurt.
Right.
And so
It's
you have to
it's
do
the first
something.
stage. It's the first stage of resistance. That peaceful protest to let people know what's going on. I mean,
Is
some
the
people are
first
in
thing.
their own bubble, so they don't
Right.
realize sometimes what's going on, and they see
Right.
what's going on. That's why, and I know Biden got a lot of flack for saying something to the effect that the George Floyd was more prominent than MLK's death.
Right.
And a lot of people was like, "How could you say that?"
So
But
that.
if you look globally, the protest that was happening globally after George Floyd, you can kind of see why he said that, right? But people take nuances and make a big social issue out of it. But
Right.
we're just in a place right now where nuances become bigger and become a part of political stages when they shouldn't be, right?
Right.
Because we got to get back to humanity. We got to get back to peace. We got to get back to faith,
Yes.
God, whatever religion you believe in. But
Right.
all of them comes back to the center of
Yeah.
being a human and showing love and being God-like. So that's where I am with it.
Well, I appreciate your input because you said a couple of things, and well, a lot of things
Mm-hmm.
that actually a lot of people could resonate with, agree with, and that's in the schools, taking out the books out of schools, making a big issue out of the history that is not in the school, not being told at the school level, at the level of beginning level, where the kids can actually learn their own history, which is
Mm-hmm.
African American history. Is more about the colonialism, and not too much to do with the Africans that came to the United States and built the United States, and is actually part of the United States.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not much being said about that. And the other point that you mentioned, which was very important, is about gender. We there's so much disagreement and agreement with, oh, I don't want a bathroom with a he she bathroom or they bathroom, or I prefer to be called they instead of he or she or whatever. I agree with you. I don't care about that. If you love another man, a woman love another. I don't care. If you want to, I mean, I'm being honest. I don't like to get to give my opinion, but I have to give my opinion on this.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't care. I'm more concerned about what do you do with that child as a parent. If it's both of you are male and both of you are female, I'm more concerned. What is it are you teaching as far
Mm-hmm.
as the level of embracing each other and respect each other and not the hate out there and don't kill each other and all that stuff. I'm more concerned about that than I don't care who you love. That's your business. But are you killing somebody? Are you hating people? Are you organizing to damage someone? Are you making somebody's life impossible? Are you gossiping? Are you? That's what I'm concerned about. And to tell you the truth, a lot of pastors and preachers, and they go to church and everything, and they're not doing the things that they're supposed to do, but they're preaching it. So
Mm-hmm.
I want to hear your spin on that. What do you think about same sex marriage, and all this transgender? And give me a little bit about what you think about. I want to hear it. You could get
Oh
into
man.
trouble. It's your opinion.
No, it's
Freedom
not.
of speech.
No, it's fine. What do I think? I, I, mm. So I'll take it from what's being told, right? So I don't like there should be policy where you need to change the language of birthing people.
Right.
I don't like the language of you getting ousted because you want to be called a woman and not a birthing person. Because a woman is a woman and a
Right.
man is a man.
Exactly.
And if you're transgender or whatever, um, you are. But the fight over words have become such. I don't. It's crazy to me. Um, you know, I don't have a problem with you living a certain lifestyle, but I do have a problem with you trying to, uh, make your point and then try to take over somebody's gender because now we have 32 genders probably. I don't keep count.
Oh, really? I
Yeah,
noticed that
yeah,
we had four or five.
I
Really?
don't know. It's
LGBTQ.
all over the place. It could be sexuality. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm just being honest. I don't know, but I do know it's these
Yeah,
genders. Is this? Is that? Is that? I do respect, your your value to live and live comfortably within yourself.
sure.
I don't think you should shun people for giving their opinion about how you treating yourself, but I don't also think that people should hate because what I've heard is there's been an influx in transgender suicides. I don't know if that's because of transgender people scared to show who or or gay people are scared to show their parents or who they are and feeling they're being shunned. I don't know if that's people misinforming people about who they really are when they're in relationships. I don't know.
Yeah.
Um, like I said, for me, there are bigger issues. Um,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Definitely.
and you
Definitely.
kind of, I don't, I don't know if that seeps down into the morale of family life. To be honest, I don't know. What I do know that seeps down in towards family life is economics, right? So, um, people always want to talk about family and strong family, but what comes families comes economics, right? We were at a point where there only had to be one person working to now both people have to work to now both people have to work, and you can't have any type of home ownership because the gap between what you made today and what you made back then and home ownership is just wide is it's gotten wider, right? So I think it's more of a economic issue that's turned now to trickle down into home issues, in my opinion. Because I was a generation of the latchkey kid. What that meant was,
Yes. Explain to a
you,
lot of
you,
us.
yeah. So what that meant was both your parents were working, so you came home and you opened the door for yourself, and you came in house and you
Right.
made your own snack and you watched TV. It's programmed, right? So when you have that dynamic of becoming a latchkey kid, you kind of have more of a dynamic of being kind of more independent, but also influenced by TV, right?
Right.
So, like I said, everything comes down to economics, right? I mean, I could start all the way back, and some people can agree with me, and don't agree with me,
I don't
but
agree with you.
a lot of it comes down to gender roles, in my opinion, right?
Right.
So, because America's always wanted people to work because they want that tax money. They always
Right.
want people to work. So people were going for and it's two sides to every coin. People were going for gender equality, but what came with gender equality was now you having kids being in a household without both parents at the same time. And then come the 60s, with crack 60s, I'm sorry, not 60s, the 70s, 80s coming with the crack academic I'm sorry, endemic, with the crack endemic that flooded a lot of communities. And then what happened was the government systematically took the black man out the household. And
Yes.
then you have mom raising the household because she could economically get more money if the dad
But
wasn't
that was
in the
happening. That was
household.
happening in the 60s and 70s, right?
Right.
In Harlem, the
Hmm.
prostitutes, the pimps. I mean, it's been happening
Yeah.
in different,
Phases. Yeah.
sections of throughout the years where
Yeah.
you will see that rise in that sort of stuff. And we're experiencing it right now with different drugs now,
Hmm.
more added to what we already knew. And
Hmm.
but yeah, that definitely
It
is
all
that
it
is
all
that
it all it all comes back down to politics, economics. It's always
yeah,
normally a trickle down effect that
yes,
you don't see the 20, 30 years down the road. And
yes,
that's what people don't realize, right? Because when you have one
definitely,
parent in a household, sometimes, there's going to be a lack of something that happens. And there's a lot of times there's going to be love. And that's
yeah,
comes back to the subject of, humanity,
right.
knowing that your child is loved, knowing that your child is protected. And it's big,
Yeah,
so.
but and we are being faced with so much stuff going on the news. We've been bombarded, politics, wars, gender situation, all that stuff. I want you to stick around just for a few moments and come back after this little break. I want to let people know what we're talking about. I'm just going
Of
to show
course.
them little pictures of the basic stuff that's going on, not
Mhm,
what we have expanded on, and
mhm.
then we'll come back and continue for a few.
Okay, go get a toothpick.
Okay, so we're here live, um, having a wonderful conversation about humanity. Where are we going? Are we in danger, endangered species? Um, we were talking about, for those of you who are just joining in, we're talking about everything that's going on right now. Everything here in Panama. Let me talk briefly about what's going on here in Panama with the protests, the mining companies, and still people here are not satisfied with what's going on at the government level. Um, uh, two teachers got shot, and that case is in court right now. A baby died for not getting to the hospital on time, and there's other deaths surrounding the protests and everything. And to me, that's concerning. I mean, I see where the protest is valuable and needed, but at the same time, blocking the roads. I don't know. I really can't. I'm not for it. I mean, people are going to have to go to work, and they get paid on a daily basis, and I don't think that's right. Some people have appointments, doctor's appointment, that they wait so long, 6 months to get doctor's appointment, and it's not fair for them to cancel it and then have to wait another 6 months. Some people walk it to go to work. Some people have to find another way to get to work. So and then in the supermarkets, there's limited products such as like lettuce and carrots and all that stuff. So it's really difficult to be able to deal with that, you know. So I want you guys to chat. I want to hear your opinion regarding what's happening, and I'm here with my cousin Ambrosio, who's sharing his point of view. He lives in the United States. I'm in Panama. And again, happy Veterans Day. That was yesterday. We celebrated that here at the Carrizal Cemetery. Carlos, I salute you. Lynn, thank you so much for the invitation. It was a great ceremony. Yeah, so we need to continue this conversation. Now, some of you are on Facebook, and some of you are live, and you're making some comments. I see 4 comments here. One person say hello. Just Listra just came on. What's happening? Hi, Listra. We're talking about humanity. Anything is, I mean, are we human beings? Are we in danger? Are we going to become, you know, be erased off this earth because of the wars that are accumulating and protests around the world? I was watching TV everywhere. Every country there's a protest, right? I'm turned on CNN and other news other than CNN. I don't want to watch CNN. CNN in Espanol, CNN, and I see all these stuff going on. So guys, hello for the Facebook community. We're live. Chat, I want to hear your opinion. I'm watching you right now. So if you have any questions to bring to the platform, you're more than welcome. So let's continue, Ambrosio. So we are talking about, we just talked about gender, and we spoke about all the other stuff. Now, technology. Before we get into the World War and stuff, technology. How is technology affecting us humans? Are we going to be like, I just saw something, and I know you saw it. I saw something about you have a artificial intelligence manager, your boss. Oh,
Mm.
tell me about that. Since that's in your field a little bit,
Uh,
expand a little bit.
well, I haven't heard of that, but I mean,
Yeah,
my views is that artificial intelligence will take over a lot of jobs. Technology always does, right? Technology always rules. I mean, if you look at the top companies in America, that's actually keeping our stock market going, or on level, is Apple, Microsoft, Nvidia, and there's some others. But all of these, you can say Google or Meta now, but all of these are in the technology space, right? And all of these are vying for the AI revolution, right?
yeah,
With the AI revolution, it's very complex, because right now you use AI for everything, but
Everything.
you probably don't even realize it.
You
But
better
it,
realize it.
yes, it will take over. I mean, it's taken over a lot of HR jobs, because now you can just, questions that you would normally ask HR, things that could just be ran automation.
Right.
So I think within the next 20-25 years, I think AI will take over a tremendous amount of jobs.
Mhm.
It's to be there will always be some type of manual effort in a lot of these jobs. When it comes to like plumbing, a lot of these trade jobs, they will always, in my opinion, probably always exist. There will probably be figure out better ways to do them,
Right.
with less people, but there will always be those type of jobs. But certain jobs and functionalities that makes businesses go faster, because it's, at the end of the day, it's competition, right? No business wants to be left behind, right? But
Yes.
what happens is, when no business wants to be left behind, what you lose is more of the human influence, the
Touch.
human
Yes.
made things of doing things.
Right.
There's a whole nother aspect,
Interaction. Yeah, the interaction. Yes,
right?
definitely.
There's a whole nother aspect, like as simple as, you ever go to a public bathroom, some bathroom, and you put your hands under the sink and it automatically comes on. You don't lift the lever,
Right.
right? And in a form, that's AI, right? That's artificial intelligence saying, okay, I see your hand there. There's that. But what comes with that, there's also going to be this thing where there's going to be it is going to have to be some type of, and this is where Black people and melanated people are going to have to be in these fields, because they're going to be some racial component to these AIs, right? Because if you, even something as simple as you putting your hands under a dryer or putting your hands under
Right.
a thing, as a Black person, it might not identify you as quickly as a white person. And that's AI, but that's that, and people don't know
Yes.
that.
Yes.
But
Yes.
that's true. But people don't know that, right? So there's other things that's going to come along with that, as
Yeah.
police cameras. Uh, we get into this universal ID. There's going to be things where there's going to have to
I.
be, there's going to be a shift in even equity towards AI, right? A,
Right.
a type of equality towards AI. I mean, I know IBM has a team even working on that now, right?
Right.
So that, a Black guy's actually heading up, and with as well as a white lady. So I mean, it's going to be so much. But in my opinion, because Andrew Yang, who was a presidential candidate back when Biden was running, he talked about uh the freedom dividend, giving, I think, everybody $1,000 a month, no matter who you are, where you fall on the economic status, because he didn't want it to seem as a as he called it, as a it doesn't really matter what he called it, but
Right.
he's giving a freedom dividend to everybody, $1,000, because he knew AI was going to come down, because right now what they're trying to work on is self-driving trucks. And what people have to realize is, what a lot of these truck drivers, a lot of these communities and these small towns have an infrastructure created based on trucking, right?
Yes.
And so, like, when your truck stops happen and all of this and all of that, I mean, that's how Waffle Houses were built in the South, basically, because
Yeah.
people needed somewhere to eat as they was building up, and as people were stopping by. That's why Waffle Houses got big. People don't even realize that. But I mean, but now, as Americans, we just look at consumerism and eating and going someplace to eat, but we don't look at the history of why things happen and why things come
Exactly.
apart.
Right.
And so, as we're getting these self-driving trucks, what's going to happen is, these mom and pop stops, these certain gas stations, because all these things are going to be electrical, right? It's coming down, and it's going to take away a little, piece by piece, these small little cities that rely on some of those economics, right?
Right.
But ultimately, what the goal of AI should be is, they do the work, we control how they do the work, we
Exactly.
sit back
Yes.
and relax in a
Yes.
certain capacity, right?
Yes. Yes.
But man's human nature is to be controlling and to be all
Yes.
powerful.
Yes.
So how it
Yes.
goes. And then,
Well, yeah. Well, a lot of people have this thing in their house that they call Alexa. Alexa is artificial intelligence. You ask Alexa what weather it is. I use Google Assistant, and I ask what weather. I don't even type it. I just ask, and so even on the trains, you will hear announcements. That's artificial intelligence. Here in Panama, the buses, when it goes to certain stops, it says now you're at such and such building. You hear that recording. And artificial intelligence was in use way back with remember with customer service. You hear a fictitious press one if you want, but not a voice, not a recording voice, an actual machine imitating the voice. So I always tell people artificial intelligence is everything, almost it mimic a human being. So anything you ask it will do it. Will recognize, like you said, will recognize when you're standing there. Will recognize anything. Will tell you what time it is, what the weather is. I just want to acknowledge one thing before we continue. Listra, hi. Listra say, I totally agree with you, meaning with you, what you're saying. They are hurting the poor people, however. They need to go by the president house and attack them. Don't take it out. Don't take it out on the poor people who need food and medicine. This is very sad. Yeah, definitely, Listra. I definitely agree with you with the whole thing. But we don't sit at those tables when they have these meetings and these decisions. So I mean,
and it's interesting. She said the food, and the medicine, because here in America, I mean, in Central America, Mexico, all across Central, to me, y'all have the best quality of food.
Right.
In America, it's more about it's more about consumption, and what makes us consume more is what's in it, right? What's in it. I mean, to me, is I call it the poison index, right? Food ain't food no more. It's a food product. It ain't food.
Right.
So it ain't. I don't know what the hell this is, but we over here, we put more into food. I mean, Obama, he had a chance to actually label things better and more. He didn't take that chance. I mean, there's a lot of stuff here that's outlawed in UK, France, other countries that we put in our food, right? The medicine is outrageous. The cost of medicine is outrageous. I know that was one thing that
I heard
Bernie Sanders. Canada, Mexico is better, but in America, it's outrageous. I mean,
how I know? A lot of people come to Panama and they said, this medication, we come here to get it because in the United States is 10 times, not even double. It's like 10 times the price.
Yeah. I mean,
the cost, I should say.
Yeah. I know, I think the only one who's really talking about it when it comes out the candidates is Robert Kennedy Jr.
Yes.
He's the only one because, he's been labeled the anti-vaxxer, but, at the end of the day, he's the pro-climate, candidate. He's the pro, what would you call, pro real food?
Yes.
Pro getting the right medicines, costly, effective medicines. I think he wants to do a thing where you get some type of card where you're able to go to Canada and Mexico. I mean, he basically give away the cards. It's almost like a passport. You can go between the two countries. I don't know how you're going to afford to go there if you already need money to get medicine. But anyway, that's a whole nother subject. But basically, so you can go to back and forth to both countries, so you can get this medicine for a discounted price.
For a discounted
price. I think that's what he's trying to do. But yeah, I mean, food is a big problem. At the end of the day, food is a global problem. And water is
how to reach the food to the people is a problem.
It's a problem.
How the people get the food is a problem. Right now in Panama, we live in the city and we still having problems.
Yeah.
Because of the protests. Yeah. I mean,
and they're protesting. Part of that protest is because they don't want their drinking water to be affected.
Yes.
I think it's one of the, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's kind of what they don't want to happen. They don't want those things to get mined because it potentially can affect the water. Is that correct?
Yeah. Yes, exactly. I took him, when you go to school, you have to take these electives, and I took environmental studies or whatever it was called. I don't remember. Mm-hmm. But yeah, what is it? Fracking and digging coal out of there. Yeah. Remember people in that area would turn on the faucet. There's
Mhm.
many documentaries and 60 Minutes and CBS News and all that stuff. They do a lot of interview those people who have cancer, problem breathing, problem with the blood, all kind of stuff. When they turn on the faucet, the water comes out, and you could put a match and it lights up. I mean, there's a lot of thing goes on with because here in Panama they need the water to do that job, and so the water is being depleted from nearby rivers and lakes and stuff like that. And I'm not an expert on this, but I did read about that, how they get the water, how the need of the water from the people in that area, how it contaminates the water after they use that water to do the process for copper, gold, whatever they're looking for. There's a lot of water involved. So
because
yeah.
what happens is, and it's the sad part, what happens is these businesses will come in, they will know something isn't right,
Yes,
but they don't care. They will put away a petty fund for when 20 years from now, when a lawsuit comes, because you contaminated this water, now all these people died. Okay,
yes.
well, go through, let's settle. They already got the funds, they already got big revenue. Let's settle. Okay, there you go.
Yes,
Same thing
Stephanie.
happened here. I mean, it happens, yeah, because they've already made their money.
Yes.
And they know how it works. This happened in banking. This happened in agriculture.
Yeah.
I mean, this happened Wells Fargo, Montesano. It comes back.
Lisa is agreeing with us. She says they don't care. They just don't care. It's all about money.
Flint still ain't good. Flint still ain't good. It's sad. Flint still ain't good. And these people, I haven't been keeping up with Flint, but yeah, Flint still ain't good. But if you look across the country, a lot of these pipes aren't good. People just don't know it yet. These pipes are expiring.
Look at what happened in the Congo. In the Congo, I read about the Congo. Oh my God! But this has been going on for years.
Yeah.
The continent of Africa in certain areas has been. I mean, the children working in these places. I mean, it's crazy how much they get away with all that stuff.
Yeah. They're taking billions and billions of minerals out of the Congo. Like I said, going back to before that.
Yeah, depleting the area. So I mean, we could go on and on and on. We have so much to talk about how we're being affected, the environment, the pollution, the water being polluted. Panama right now has a huge trash problem, and I'm not. I mean, I'm telling you the truth. I mean, what can I say? I can't say no. In the city is a problem. It's a huge problem. People say, "Oh, Panamanians are nasty. They don't throw the trash in the basket," but there's no basket. How can you train? And we're going to get to that. The third part of this conversation. We can take a break and come back. But the third part of this conversation is, how do we build a better future? I mean, how do we stop the bleeding? How do we stop this madness? Listra says there is a saying: "Money talks, bullshit, bullshit walks." That is true. That is so true. I mean, how do we stop this bleeding? Really, I was going to put the title: "How do we stop this bleeding, this world bleeding?" And it's just bombarding us. It's just weakening us. I mean, kids are being born with some illnesses that's never been heard of before. The technology with the cellular phone, you're hooked on the cellular phone, which is depleting us our energy, it's taking away our energy. I feel weak sometimes when I'm in front of the cellular phone too much, and my eyes, and I'm just feel like it's taking away my energy. So the water system in New York City, in the projects in New York City are not good. Yeah. We used to say Mexico, but now it's like all over. So I want to take a break. I know, listen, we're speaking to Ambrosio. He lives in the Washington, D.C. area, not too far. He's in technology system, analytical system analysis with computers. He's a father of 3. So he has concerns like every one of you who are listening. Maybe you have a nephew, maybe you have a grandchild, I don't know, or your family in general. You're concerned about their future. You're concerned about the decisions the government is making. It's like it's not in the best interest of the people, of the masses. So join the conversation. We're going to get into what can we do that going to help lessen the bleeding because I don't know if you're going to totally shut down the mining companies and shut down the corruption right away. He's going to go in stages. I want to hear from you guys on Facebook, Facebook community. Hello. I want to hear from the YouTube people, which are coming out and saying a lot. So let's take a 2 minutes break, and we're going to come back to wrap this up. And I want to talk about solutions. Let's talk about possible solutions. We didn't talk too much about the climate change, but we see it all the time. We see all the disasters on the news, earthquakes happening so often. And I think it was in Denmark. Earthquake was happening so often, and the mass extreme. Like I said, there are 4 things that I pointed out: natural, pandemic. We went through that. We're talking about the gamma ray bursts that we get sometime, if it does come close to Earth. Climate change, extreme change, war. Of course, we're facing those things, and it looks gray. It looks real gray around the world. So join the conversation. We're going to talk about solutions when we come back. We're back. We're back. Um, yeah, this is a very interesting topic, and I'm happy that a lot of you are tuning in and giving your opinions about a lot of stuff that's happening. So yeah. Uh, um, okay, I got this message from someone. I mean, this, we weren't paying attention to a lot of stuff because there's a lot of stuff going on, right? And Panama is putting this mining stuff on the map for a topic of on the table for discussion. I got something from it says from someone said this video is actually showing Filipinos and Chinese and other nationalities with the mining company that are 3,000 of them or 3 million of them are Panamanians and foreigners. But I have to look at the video. So there's a lot of stuff being sent to me about the issues that we're being faced with here in Panama, with blocking the roads, with the protests, with the government not actually satisfying or coming up with the solution to save the environment, to have a better future for for us here in Panama, and of course, the world is watching what's going on here in Panama. So we're going to continue the conversation with. Let me see some of your messages that you sent. As Stephanie says, it's all about power and politics, the haves and the haves not, of course. And then she also writes, the former General Torrijos always said, siembra un árbol. Perhaps he saw this future coming. Trees are becoming extinct. Of course, we look out the window, right? That's a good point, Stephen. We look out the window and we say, oh, what a beautiful building. Oh, I like that, that design. Oh, the architectural, the image and all that stuff. We no longer look out the window and see, oh, what a beautiful tree. Oh, look at the roses, look at the birds, look at the sky. We're not doing that anymore, people. So what's happening? We are here on planet Earth, and we are destroying planet Earth totally destroying planet Earth. And so there's a problem going on right now. The future of humanity, what's going to happen? So we need to talk about solutions, you know. What are some of the solutions that you guys could text here and on Facebook? I'm looking at my text here on Facebook and see what are some of the solutions. I'm also looking at WhatsApp because it happens sometimes. So I'm getting a lot from Listra. I'm getting a lot from Listra, and she's definitely, she's definitely giving her opinions here. And so, people, we need to come up with a solution. One of the things that I have in mind regarding that is the following: teach the kids, teach the children about planet Earth, teach them how it works, what makes it work, right? What are the things that are destroying planet Earth? Okay, we're just talking about physical things at this point. Teach them how to, you have a basket there, waste basket, put the trash in the waste basket, right? How to recycle. And a lot of countries are doing it, but we're talking about some of the countries are not doing it. How to recycle, put that into practice. There's a law about throwing trash in Panama, but it needs to be implemented. You need to practice. The authorities need to be out there putting fine multas on these people when they throw trash around the place. It's not fair for someone that did not put that there to pick it up and have to be cleaning up all the time. We also need to, aside from that, teach the kids, the new generation, about the physical stuff, about cleaning up and being, don't throw stuff in the streets or in the neighborhood. We also have to teach them to respect others, other cultures, beliefs, values, and all that stuff, as long as it is for humanity, as long as it's something positive. We are not going to say we're going to respect somebody that's going to kill people or destroy a community. No, we cannot respect that. We cannot agree with that. We cannot dance with that. But if they have the core values of respecting others, respecting their communities, accept other people's culture, color, differences, opinions, okay, as long as it's something that is harmonious, unifying, let them know the difference. Okay, we're not going to say, oh, I respect such and such, even though he killed somebody. Well, you know what I mean. You can't worship somebody that's doing something negative. And that's the thing that we need to teach the children of today. They don't know the difference between good or bad anymore. They just believe that if they're on these video games and they playing these games where there's somebody shooting and blowing out somebody's brain, they believe that's normal. That's just a game. It's just a game. No, people, it's not just a game. That is mind conditioning, mind washing, brainwashing. Do you guys know that? Okay, brainwashing is not what you see on the movie. Like you sit in front of this uh, doctor and he does this thing like this, or you know, no, brainwashing is you watch the TV, you watch games, you watch TV every day, and you watch the negative stuff that come on TV. Your mind is already programmed. It's in the back of your head, in an unconscious mind, and you react based on that, right? Or brainwashing is like, for example, you watch Miss Universe. You think Miss Universe have to look a certain way. So guess what? You're gonna do everything, spend money to look a certain way. You think that plastic surgery, making your cheeks bigger and your lips bigger like this, right? It's normal. No, people. Those are all mind conditioning. We need to know the reality of stuff, what they're doing. Okay. And when I say they, I'm speaking about the people in charge of these programming, right? That's why they call it programming. Stay tuned for next programming. They programming you to behave a certain way. You remember when they still do it? McDonald's was something popular. They would put out McDonald's uh, little commercials and say McDonald's Big Mac super size and all those and you could get larger sodas, and for Christmas you eat a lot of ice cream and you eat cookies, and Santa Claus loves cookies and milk. I just read an article the other day that they said milk is a lie. Milk does not really make your bones stronger or anything. Milk is the opposite. A lot of people are suffering from a lot of things by drinking the excess amount of just milk. I'm talking about glasses of milk. So here you go. Santa Claus is huge because of all the milk and cookies that you give Santa Claus. It is okay to have your cookies once in a while, but you know, people think they're mind conditioned. So solving one of something, we're gonna bring Ambrosio back so he could share with us his solutions to the problem, or to make the future better. Right? We're getting into solutions now, how to make this world a little better. Okay. And as we spoke prior, we're talking about gender change and gender equality and all this stuff. All of that is part of educating our kids, right? Into seeing certain things. Listra says the new generation don't care about that. All they care about is technology. They need to be trained at home from their parents. Very true. She also says parents have no time to spend with their children. The TV and technology is their teacher. Very, very true. Very, very true. So let's hear what uh, Ambrosio has to say. He's back here with us, and let's bring him back. I mean, I know you were listening a little bit about
Mhm.
how we're gonna solve this. One of the things, what one of the things, or a few of the things you believe in your heart can move us in a different direction? Because right now everything is war, war, war. Everything is protesting. Everything is contamination. Everything is the fires, the cutting down the trees. The children are killing children. Uh, Transgender people don't want to be black. They want to be white. People don't want to be a man. They want to be a woman. What do you have to say about what's happening today?
That's a lot. Um, that's a lot. So well, let me start from where you were talking about with I guess the climate.
Right. What are some of the solutions? I mean, the climate change, there's no solution for that, but at least we could help it a little bit, right?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, as you were talking, I was looking up some few things about that because what's interesting about when you look up things right without going to certain sources, you get, and when I say when you look up things, when you Google things, right, what you tend to find out is that who's actually running what you the sites that you're looking at, right? Because it could be somebody who's really anti-global, but then they will still put a when I say I'm sorry, anti-climate, because there's half the country, well, not half the country, most of our Congress people, half of them don't even believe in climate change, which is crazy.
Right.
But so that's an issue, right? So
Right.
it got to start there because that's how our system is set up, right? So And then if you start in there, you got to go even larger than that. That's why, because at the end of the day, money runs everything. So
Right.
money runs politics. Politics runs laws. You know, so it's a
Maybe
tricky
that's where we
thing.
need to start. Let not
Yeah,
money be God.
yeah,
Let the truth be the truth
yeah.
to
So,
guide us.
but I mean, if you're just talking about climate, things that we could do at home is, you know, from what I read, that clothing, the amount of clothing and the clothing that we throw away is a big carbon footprint. Um, and it another thing we could do is uh probably walk more, um,
Yeah,
or what's the word?
the carpooling business.
Carpooling.
Yeah,
Yeah, there
yeah,
you go.
yeah.
Um,
Ride a bicycle.
ride your bicycle. They even though, you know, in certain areas of getting food there, they're saying we have a food waste problem. So a lot of these things are emissions that go into the carbon footprint of the world. So it's some things that we can do there. Um, you know, less energy even in your home.
Right.
I think one thing that anybody could do is just plant a tree. I know they were trying to do that in Brooklyn, when in certain areas they
Yeah.
was trying to just plant trees. So it's certain things that we can do as people to do that. Um, in terms of where do you want me to go next with solutions? I mean, that's just
Well,
climate.
basically, that's survival. We need
Survival.
to start looking at survival, how to
Growing our own food.
survive. Yeah, how to grow our own food, how to have a garden if you depending on where you live, how to preserve things. I was watching this movie called The Martian, and how you grew stuff in space, in Mars, and it was so amazing how he made earth and water, and made the whole environmental cycle thing. It rains, and then the steam comes up, and then so that cycle, that cycle was
Mhm,
very interesting. So we have to start thinking that way, I believe, because
mhm,
where do you want to be, in case of anything happening? How are you going to survive? So
mhm,
basically, with all the wars that are going on, and the protests, and the closing of the street roads here in Panama, we have to have certain non-perishable supplies. We have to have gas masks. We have to know. I'm just going into that, people. I am speaking the truth.
mhm.
This is it. This is time to think about how is it we gonna kind of hang in there a little bit more, because
Right.
we are not the ones in control right now.
Yeah.
The 1% elite, and
The elite. Hmm.
the nations that are at war make the decisions, and then we suffer.
Hmm.
What's going on in Israel and Palestinian, the Palestine people, and they are really, at each other. They're not
Hmm.
stopping. So
Hmm.
that has an effect on the world in many ways. And so we have to learn how to disconnect, right, for our mental health.
Yeah.
Disconnect and do our part in educating our children
Hmm.
to not to be these type of leaders, to consider humanity, to consider human beings, to consider your environment, to love your environment, to be peaceful, to practice meditation, to practice sports, to practice survival. How do we survive? Like you just said, you plant a tree. You just plant a tree wherever you are. Just plant a tree in your community, and that way, even I've seen in China, not only in China, I forgot where else, on the buildings in the side of your house, you put a tree. You build this kind of, out of concrete, or I don't know, out of whatever, and you build this plant, and it's supposed to clean the air.
Yeah.
So you could have these little pockets of things around your house, or your apartment, or your building, and
100%.
the oxygen, that is helpful.
That's very
But
helpful.
yeah. So I think we have to start educating our kids, educating
Mhm,
ourselves,
mhm.
uh, doing this transformation and survival. But while we're doing that, we should always have in mind to technically not mind your business, as like minding your business that you don't care, but mind your business and don't get involved into dictating someone what to do, or hating somebody because they don't agree with you. I mean, If they don't agree with you and it's life and death situation, then you go with the truth, right?
Right.
What is the truth here? Are we going to die or are we going to save the planet? What is the truth? So
Right.
we go with the truth. So the truth would guide us into making the right decisions. That's, to me, if you start with that, what is the truth? We're at war and it's getting ugly and I'm concerned about it. That's the
Right.
truth. The
Yeah.
truth that there's climate change. That's the truth. What can we do about it? Not much, because we don't, at our level, we don't have much.
Right.
But we can protect ourselves, right?
Mhm.
Some people have insurance on their homes. Some people have protect their house with weather stuff, whatever they build
Mhm.
on the windows. They put extra protection on the windows, like in Florida. I used to,
So
they have,
solar
yeah,
helps.
solar panels. Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
Hmm.
solar panels. You know, the water, not waste water. Don't use
Hmm.
water just for using it and let it go to waste.
Hmm.
And so, well, yeah,
And, and you know, I mean, because you brought it up with Palestine and them, I think right now there just need to be a ceasefire.
yes,
I think you got to give a lot of people to have some type of humanitarian aid to come in, um, because what's happening right now is just an atrocity. It's monumental atrocity. Because I don't, I don't know how much one Israel life is equal to um, one Palestinian life, but the way they act like it's like 1 per 1,000.
yeah,
The way they bombing up the place. So I think that needs to be a ceasefire ASAP. Um,
right,
and it's crazy that you know France is the one who's trying to lead the humanitarian effort.
right,
I wouldn't even say effort, but calling them out. Because their atrocity, what they've done to Haiti and to other places. But all of it is history. You throw one stone, somebody will come back and throw another stone. So I mean, it's war. We need we need to get that right wing government out of Israel. We need to get the other folks, out of that because ultimately they want to push people out of their land, and that's what's going to start this war,
that's what's
so-called World
happening.
War III, because other people saying no, 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 keep them there. I mean, you've seen it around the world. They protesting everywhere. They protesting here in
Right.
America. They protesting. They try not to show you, but they're protesting. But
Oh yeah, we
and that
saw part of it. They're
and
protesting in front of the
and, bec-
nearby the president's house.
and because of social media is why now on mainstream media they have to say certain things or they have to bring people in because people ain't stupid no more because
Yeah, they
people
do
got
their
video
research.
cameras and they got their technology that's been placed in our hand, right? So I think people should continue to protest. I think
Yes,
I think students should. I think we need to get money out. I think we need to get this money out of politics the way it
right,
comes, especially when you're campaigning. Um, I, the whole lobbying thing is that's. I mean, we turn into an oligarchy. I mean, we ran by business. I mean,
right,
the food is killing us because we ran by
right,
pharmaceutical. So
right,
it's so many fronts. It's so many fronts. But you got to start local. You got to start local. I've been saying this for 5 years, and I said it one time to a friend of mine who actually who's kind of a part of campaigns and a part of campaigns. I say all these old people need to get the hell out. They got to go. Nancy
right.
Pelosi got to go. I don't care what people say
Where
about
she
it.
left?
I don't care
Where
what
she left?
technician.
She left, but
He
she's
got
still hanging around.
he got to
Yeah,
go. Biden had to go. All these old people got to go, in my opinion. Now, I know you still can get these younger people who still got these views that I don't agree with, but we got to get more progressive people, more progressive thinking. And when I say progressive thinking about people, and I'm not saying about progressive all the way social issues. I'm talking about
right.
progressive way of thinking economically, because right now the gap is widening, and it's only going to get worse with AI. So
We need
we got to get
fresh
all these old people
thinking.
out of here.
Yeah, we need fresh thinking to move us into the right direction.
We got to get
Okay.
them all. We
Yeah,
got to get them out of here.
yeah.
We got to.
Because they're connecting in one way or the other, as you said. They connect
Yeah,
in one.
yeah. Because they all it's links. It's links to the past, right? It's links. It's links to the old way of thinking of this new world
Yeah,
order. You know what I'm saying?
right.
Obama had it. Clinton had it. They all have them. You know what I'm saying? Because Obama had Bush form people. Because the thing is, and that's why politics is such a dirty game, such a crazy game, and it's all ran by money. Because in a way, I don't know if we've come so far in the way of the inhumane things we did to other countries, is that to protect ourselves, we got to be in the forefront of other places, because we just ran rampant across the globe, put base here, 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 base here,
Yeah,
base.
yeah, yeah.
So it's like, what are we doing? What are we doing? The
Right.
military industrial complex is bringing this country down, and this it's two things that America runs on, is our value, because we ain't on the gold standard no more. It's two things. It's the military industrial complex and this financial system that we have, so-called, that's on its way down as well. So that's what's keeping this country up. And right now you see Saudi Arabia, and you see Brazil, so-called allies, they going towards BRICS. They moving away. You know what I'm saying? Because people look, countries fall. They just
Exactly.
fall. Look at what happened in Rome. They fall.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah, yeah.
as a country, we're on a we try to, I don't know, morally, I don't know where we are anymore. Come down locally, the way people think, ban books across the globe, bomb here, support this country.
It's all evolution. It's all
I
evolution.
don't know where we are.
So we need to evolve into something to survive, because at the end of the day, we're only here for a short time. But what you did in the past is going to affect you in the future, and you cannot do it alone.
Can't do it
And
alone.
you cannot be carrying this weight and want to save the world. You can't. You just can't. This force, this negative force, this evil force that is killing us through medication, through the TV, the programming that they do to our kids, through the lies that if you see the sky blue, they're gonna say no, it's not blue, it's purple. I mean, come on. The misinformation is what killing us too. You
Mhm.
know, the
Yeah.
misinformation that's out there. I always tell people,
We the YouTube generation. We
don't
don't
go
read and we don't
right.
critical think.
Don't go by what people are telling. Don't go. You have to do more. Go beyond than what you hear them saying. Do
Mhm.
your research.
Mhm.
Talk to other people. Find out what's the truth behind this thing. Okay, don't
Mhm.
just say, oh, they said that, and run with it. And that's what major social media, what they call mainstream media, that's what
Yeah.
they do. Mainstream, the news, they just run with the first thing they hear, and not only what the first thing they hear, they shape history, they
Check.
shape the story.
Mhm.
So we need to get new blood in there,
Mhm.
that knows what time it is, that
Yeah.
knows to heal this bleeding. So I
Yeah.
not only get rid of older people. If you could have the older people that are with it, with saving, if they're there, yes. If they're there with where we should be going, yes. But
Yeah.
if they're not, and they're obstacle, which that's what we're seeing with a lot of things, right? They're like,
Mhm.
okay, get out the way, because obviously you did your part, but now we need to try to see if it
Right.
works with our way. But there's a lot of things that we don't know, and
And
that
and
they
that's why
don't know,
your platform
and
is
so we need them.
and that's why your platform is important, and why podcasts have become bigger, is because people don't, the distrust between mainstream media and
Right,
what they choose to say, and they're not even being biased anymore about it. They're just leaning
right.
one way or the other. You know what I'm saying? So, but people are more in tune. So a lot of people are misinformed about a lot of stuff because headlines shape news, but context doesn't shape news. Um, it used to be that way for entertainment and propaganda of entertainment. Well, there's always been that way for propaganda, but headlines became more of a tool, and with social media, to stir people in a direction that they don't need to be stirred in. Where you got to get down to the context of things, like why things have become an issue when they shouldn't be, like critical race theory. Why is that an issue? I have no idea. That shouldn't be on the forefront. But people like to divide people
Yeah,
to get to their
yeah.
point, because that's what it's about. It's dividing the people.
Yeah.
And if
Just
you look and you go back to what the human element of what people want and what they need, then you have your solution. But people are corrupt. People want power, and people want just power gets to people head and control. It's power and control. They want to control, and
control.
yeah.
Yes.
But
Definitely.
so. But I think that people need to continue to fight. I think people will always have to fight to get a little of what we can get at the end of the day from the elite. And that's just how it is. Maybe these UFO sightings that we've been seeing,
Right.
maybe they come and control all of us. I don't know.
Maybe we are the UFOs. Maybe we are the extraterrestrial because we certainly don't belong here. If we cutting
Yeah,
down the trees and if
yeah.
we put asphalt all over and if we burning this and doing that, maybe we don't belong here. Maybe we are the foreigners here. Because nothing around me looks like me. There's
Mm,
more trees than look at all the trees. Do we look like the trees?
mm,
No. And the trees will always be here. They always grow up. The little thing will always grow. Not us. We destroying each other.
mm,
And in that destruction, I mean, a lot of people are out there protesting because they got a rude wake up call.
mm,
They got a rude wake up call during the pandemic. A rude wake up call saying, "Hey, government is controlling us. Oh my God, they're telling us we can't do this, we can't do this unless we take the vaccine. They're telling us what to do with our bodies. Oh my God, they're saying that a woman don't have a choice. The government, since when you have to make something a law? You know,
mm,
why do you have to make it a law? It's
mm,
if you make it a law to prevent destruction or to prevent harming yourself or something, that's different. But a
mm.
law to control, I'm not too with that. Yes, Listra, thank you. Listra says it's all about control. She said things are not going to get better.
Mm.
We have to be pushed to the wall. Again, there was a movie with Keanu Reeves. What was the name of the movie where he said we have to destroy everything on the surface of the earth because people are not getting along and they're destroying earth. I forgot the name of it. Anybody can tell me? Do you remember the movie with Keanu Reeves that he was like like dressed in this heavy metal thing, and
Matrix.
he only saved two kids, and they went to the new world, to the new world. At the end, he destroyed the whole surface, and he brought them up in this ship that looked like a tall man standing,
Mm.
and he took them to this new world. And I feel that um, that's happening. We're just gonna destroy each other on the surface of it. No humans.
Mm.
So anyway, that's another
Yeah.
topic. So the
That's a
solution
no.
is bottom line. The solution is we need to talk to our kids. We need to tell them, okay, think this way. But we cannot do it by ourselves. We need the majority. We need a lot of people on board with saving the world, saving humanity. Really,
Yep.
we need the world. We need the green plants. We need the air, nice air. We need it. The plants they're gonna survive. They
Yeah.
always did. All right. So thank you so much for, unless you want to close up with something else that you miss you forget to say.
No, I mean, I just wanted to thank you for having me
Yeah,
speak my mind, speak of what I know, what I witnessed, what I
sure.
know to be true.
Yeah,
Some opinions.
yeah,
I, like I said, I thank you for having me. I want you to continue to be a beacon of hope. I like
yeah.
that
A
you,
beacon of hope. Those are powerful words.
well,
Thank
you,
you.
you you know,
Thank you. Thank
you
you
have
so
a
much.
platform, right, where people listen, and um once you say what's the solution, that's a beacon of hope, in my opinion, right? So because
Yeah.
people always, oh, it's just a problem, it's the problem, it's the problem, and we know this, right? But what can we do? And and you give us solutions. You always talk about topics that uplift people.
Yeah.
So I commend you on that. You always
Thank you.
talk about things, locally, globally, mentally, physically, right? So that's what it is, and that's what you've been doing for like what, 3 years now, I think.
Well, I
Over.
want you to come on. Listen, I want you to come
So
on because you might have something else that you want to say. So
yeah,
I
let me know. Let me
is
know. Let me
okay.
know in
Is
advance, and I'll make myself available.
I like that. Let you know in advance, but I'm an impromptu person. I like to
You lucky I was looking at my phone when you texted me. I happen to be looking at my phone, because
He's like,
you
what?
know
She wants me to come on now? What?
yeah, because I don't like to hold the phone because of the rhythms that come through and mess up my circadian rhythm of my body. So so I don't like to be near to all that technology, all that all that heat.
Yeah,
Oh,
I know.
so,
You need to be synchronized, and I'm just
yeah,
like a hurricane. Like, come on, let's go now. You ready? Let's go. And
yeah.
I apologize for that. Say
No, you
hello
good.
to your wife and your kids and
We're good.
everybody. Enjoy your Sunday afternoon because it's afternoon.
Mhm.
By the way, what's the climate over there? I need to know. I
Like
need to know.
the
What's the
climate of
climate?
the climate of
Is
the
it
country, or
47? No.
the climate of the
47
weather.
temperature.
Oh,
47, 40,
I like 50.
50. That's not
I
bad.
like 50.
That's
They like
okay.
50.
It's
Let me check.
manageable. It's
Yeah,
manageable. All
one
right.
last week one day was 74, and then the next day was 45. So
There you go.
a
Extreme climate change. There was another movie with that too.
lot of them.
Back to Earth with Will Smith and his son. They
Oh,
were in They did the movie in Costa Rica, and they
yeah.
said the planet was inhabitable. So
Mhm.
they go down there, and it's from cold to to normal, and then so we're experiencing a lot of that stuff.
Experiencing a
Yeah.
lot of it. So
And I read somewhere, and I'm gonna say this real quick. I read somewhere, it was on the NASA website. It
mhm.
said that warning that the weather is changing at a rapid pace. The hurricanes are happening at a rapid pace. They've seen it from the satellites, and that it doesn't give the authorities or the people in charge of warning the people enough time to know that it's happening.
Mhm.
And so in Mexico, in Acapulco, that thing that happened in Acapulco, you guys could look it up. It happened, I think, 2-3 weeks ago, and there were people saying, "Oh, the government didn't even tell us what's happening. They were supposed to warn us." But I
Mhm.
read this thing saying the weather is changing so rapidly, and the hurricanes are happening so fast that they don't have enough time to warn the people. So
Wow.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah, I read it. I did read it. I swear to my God, I didn't read it. I don't know
Yeah.
if it's true or not, but obviously it's true because they were talking about it. Nobody warned them. But anyway, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I appreciate you coming on. It was fun. It
Yeah.
added a little more sauce to it, to
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
program. And I hope those who are watching me enjoy the program. I'm just gonna stick around again for my health section. Stay tuned for that briefly, 5 minutes. And again, thank you for
No
sharing
problem.
this from
Thank you,
Ambrosio. See
Janetta.
you next time.
See you next time. Thank you.
Bye. So yeah, that was fun having my cousin join me on this platform. It's always a good thing, right? To hear other people's opinion. And he's a father. He works, and he has a family. He has a family, and the future is like uncertain. Is it's there's some concerns. We really didn't get into the immigrants coming into the United States or anything like that. As you know, every state has their own uh, things going on. So, what is Listra? Janetta is an amazing woman. Thank you, Listra. Thank you, Listra. You too. You are an amazing woman, and you always fun, right? Fun to be around, and you always have an uplifting spirit. Okay, and I know you know that. Okay. Um, yes. So let's get into health. And Stephanie, thank you for sending your messages as well. Stephanie's my sister. She's in New York. What's the weather in New York, Stephanie? Let's see if she's hearing me. I'm not sure if she's still listening. But what's the weather in New York City? Tell me what's going on. Here in Panama, it was raining. It's partly cloudy. And as I said before, it's going up in the 80s. 80% humidity. The humidity is it's awful. I perspire a lot, so I have to drink a lot of water and stuff like that. Talking about water, you do get dehydrated. So that's the topic of health today, about depleting yourself. When you perspire a lot, you deplete yourself um, from certain vitamins, and we are going to talk about that. One vitamin in particular, I'm going to talk about, and stay tuned. So come back and hear what I have to say about health. Guys, for those of you who do not know and watching me for the first time, this is a bilingual podcast. What I would like to say podcast. Live with Janetta is a bilingual platform. Sometimes my guests they speak English. Sometimes they speak both English and Spanish. Sometimes I speak English and Spanish. But to get the momentum going, I, I stick with English because we're talking to someone who speaks English, understands Spanish, but speaks English, fluent in English. So I thought that it would be best everything in English. Mi programa está basado, es bilingüe, inglés y español, pero este tema de hoy con el invitado habla español y para no interrumpir el momentum, decidí hacerlo todo en inglés sin parar y hacer la traducción. Así que era acerca de la humanidad, acerca de lo que está haciendo el gobierno, acerca de Panamá, y la conclusión, ¿no? Básicamente, para resumir, era que los niños deben ser educados para el progreso de nuestra humanidad, ¿verdad? Del ser humano. Debemos enseñarles para aceptar las diferencias que hay entre personas, pero no aceptar las maldades o las guerras o los conflictos innecesarios, ¿verdad? También otra solución en la conversación es de cómo sembrar árboles, ¿verdad? Sembrar árboles para hacer este mundo mejor, porque hemos notado que por la sequía, que por los fuegos, que por muchas razones están cortando también los árboles. Tenemos que sembrar árboles, tener plantas alrededor de nosotros. También otra solución de la escasez de comida o cómo alcanzar la comida es sembrar vegetales, tener un huerto en su casa. Como mi hermana dijo de Torrijos, ella dijo que el general Torrijos también estaba hablando sobre eso, de sembrar cosas. Aquí lo dice ella en inglés, ¿verdad? Sembrar un árbol para el futuro. Él vio el futuro, que necesitamos eso. Bueno, también yo hablé un poquito sobre la pandemia, que la pandemia fue como una luz, ¿verdad? Que prendió una luz para nosotros pensar en dónde queremos vivir y qué es lo que necesitamos, ¿verdad? Y yo también pienso que aparte de tener comida que enlatadas, preservadas, por si acaso, si hay un momento donde no podemos ir al supermercado, viendo las condiciones que está sucediendo en el país, ¿verdad? Con las huelgas, con las demostraciones, con los bloqueos de las calles, tenemos que pensar cómo podemos sobrevivir si no podemos ir a los supermercados, o sea, los mercados están cerrados, no hay comida para llegar a ciertas áreas de Panamá. Ok, vamos a hablar acerca de la salud. La salud, esto es lo que quiero hablar sobre la salud. De la vitamina del Magnesium, muy importante, ¿verdad? Muy importante hablar sobre eso. We're going to talk about the magnesium in the health today. The importance. Now, what are the foods with magnesium? First of all, if you're depleted with magnesium, and I looked this up and you guys could look it up, the symptoms are nausea, constipation, headaches, leg cramps, tremors. You feel kind of like your nervous system, weakness, heart palpitations. These are all signs of you're depleted of magnesium. How would you know aside from that? You could run a blood test and see your levels of magnesium if you're feeling kind of dizzy and kind of imbalanced, okay? Here in Panama, the humidity is high, so we need to make sure that we are hydrated and we have enough magnesium. Aquí en Panamá hace mucha calor, yo sudo bastante y yo tengo que tener cuidado con la pérdida de magnesio. ¿Cómo sabemos que no tenemos suficiente magnesio? Bueno, tenemos náusea, tenemos estreñimientos, tenemos dolores de cabeza, tenemos dolores en las piernas, tenemos tremors, tenemos bueno, no tiembla, ¿verdad? Y tenemos debilidad, ¿verdad? Y palpitación del corazón. Esos son algunos de los síntomas que le indica a uno que puede ser un signo que nos pueden decir que nos falta magnesio. La cantidad de magnesio depende del doctor. Vaya a su doctor, hace el examen de sangre, pero puede que sea con tanta calor, con tanto sudor y haciendo ejercicio, se te sale todo el magnesio y tienes que tomar magnesio. ¿Cuáles algunas de las comidas que tienen magnesio? Aquí está. What are some of the foods with magnesium? We have bananas, almonds, spinach, dark chocolate. I love dark chocolate. I love me some dark chocolate without oil in it, of course. Listra. Listra says she's taking magnesium right now. Yeah, very good. Very good, Listra. You see, when we talk, we didn't know other people were feeling the same way. That's why I like this platform, because it's a way of conversing, sharing your opinions, providing advice, providing information. So, la señora Listra también toma magnesio y esta es una plataforma para compartir sus ideas, sus pensamientos, su sabiduría, sus consejos, que nos aconseja acerca de ciertas cosas, que lo que hacen, muy importante. El aguacate, la calabaza, el chocolate oscuro, la espinaca, el guineo, las almendras, las hojas verdes, vetadas hojas verdes, el marañón, todo eso es buenísimo que tiene magnesio. Guys, spinach, dark chocolate, like I said, avocado, pumpkin seed, almond, bananas, cashews, leafy greens, they all have magnesium in it. Look at that. Oh my God. Nice, nice, nice. I eat a lot of avocado. There's a lot of avocado here in Panama. Aquí en Panamá podemos encontrar el avocado donde sea. Aquí siempre hay aguacate. Siempre, siempre. Bueno, mi gente, como ustedes saben, eso es todo por hoy. Eso es todo por hoy. Estoy vendiendo bolsas, ¿verdad? Miren el diseño, bien bonito. Camisas, esta es la parte de delante y esta es la parte de atrás de la camisa. Live with Janetta. Este programa Live with Janetta. Voy a estar haciendo otros cambios. So I'm selling tote bags, nice for the summer, people, grocery shopping, wherever you're going. It's all on my website. It's all on my website, panamamule.com, the first thing that you see. If you're having trouble making a payment, just put in the notes your address, and to make this simple, all of the only thing that's $15, I think, are the hats. Everything else is $25. And it's good material. I describe what it's made out of. Very good stuff. And so I want you guys, if you want to say thank you for your program, if you believe in what I'm doing, bringing all these topics, if you have any suggestion of what topics we should talk about, you do that as well. But yeah, you'll be carrying the t-shirt Live with Janetta in the background. If you have any announcements you want to make on this platform, you could do that. Si tienen algún anuncio, si quieren venir a hablar conmigo en esta plataforma, están bienvenidos. Si les gustan lo que estoy haciendo, aquí están las camisas. Ahí está el diseño de adelante y el diseño de atrás. Todo es $25 menos el sombrero que es, yo creo que son $15. Si tienen algún problema haciendo pagos en internet, pueden poner en la notita, o le falta algo, pueden poner en la notita. Aquí en Panamá se puede pagar por Yapi, Banco General. Si son extranjeros de otros países, pueden pagar a través de de PayPal a través de su tarjeta de crédito. Así que pueden mandarme una notita si tienen problemas en pagando a través de la página web Panama Mule. So guys, that's it for today. Thank you so much for sharing, for being here with me. I know you guys have a lot to do, right? A lot to do on Sunday afternoon, Sunday morning. Yeah. So again, I salute all the veterans out there. My uncle, Ambrosio, my uncle Crispin, he was in the military as well. My brother was in the military as well. Let me see who else was in the military. A lot of people were in the military. So that were Panamanians. You know, let me say this. Don't be fooled, people. Don't be fooled. You're hearing it from me. The United States military is composed of a lot of countries. People from around the world are in the military, different branches, right? The United States government is full of people from around the world. Don't be fooled. There's not only Americans, there are descendants from other countries, okay? So United States is like we all knew that, melting pot, right? So United States government, the military, is composed of people from around the world. When I say around the world, I mean that, around the world. And there's a lot of Central American Latin people that are, and Caribbean as well, that are part of the United States military. So I salute all of you around the world. Happy Veterans Day. That was yesterday. I celebrated it yesterday. I put it on my Facebook. And yeah, so there's pictures on my Facebook. So thank you once again for serving this country and serving your country. And wherever you are, stand up for what's right. Let people be. Respect people's choices, as long as it's nothing negative and nothing that's hurting someone. But if they're a good parent or parents and they're doing good for the child, leave it alone. That's where we want to be. So thank you again. We have a lot to fight for, and definitely we have to choose over battle, which is the truth. Always the truth. Always. You never know what any of these leaders or any of these leaders, representatives are going through. They're not perfect. However, we don't want those that are going against humanity, right? Against humanity. So let's join forces and put our little grain of, sand in the building a better future and protecting our environment as well. So that's it for today. See you next time. Hasta luego. Protegemos nuestra comunidad, aceptar a unos a otros con tal que es algo positivo y para la humanidad. No nos enfoquemos mucho en si hay dos padres que son del mismo sexo ni nada de eso. Lo que tenemos que enfocar en la verdad y no destruir al ser humano, ser gente decente, contribuir al futuro, al ser humano, ¿verdad? Muchísimas gracias. Hasta la próxima. Thank you so much. See you next time. Bye-bye. Thank you for watching. Again, I have my t-shirts for sale on Panama Mule. That's the website down below, panamamule.com. So enjoy your Sunday. And remember to believe in you. That's the theme of today. Acuérdense de creer en uno mismo, es el tema de hoy. Hasta el próximo domingo.
I'm holding on, if almost gone. Someday I know I'll finally make it through the gates. Just have to wait. You whisper to me, there's no maybe. There's only time for dreams even greater. I hear the call, and I close my eyes to see even clearer. I see it all. I know that we can go higher if we keep our faith, if we keep our faith. Sometimes I'm like a whisper in a riot, but I grow stronger, keep believing in